Hey everybody, it's On Screen, Off Screen, the show where we like to talk about movies, books, TV shows, how they influence our lives, and hopefully we'll find something good to share with you.
Here we go, talking all the things that we love to know, from books to movies, games we replay, taking what we see and bringing it our way. On screen, off screen, come along.
We're going to start off with a movie that just came out that everybody is watching, talking about, and having pretty diverse opinions from what I've seen. I kind of want to break it up because me and Josh are both going to talk about it. I want to do general thoughts on the movie, and then we can break it down to like chapters because that's kind of how the Odyssey plays out and what we thought about the individual chapters. Does that work, Josh? Okay, cool. So, general thoughts on the Odyssey. I'm honestly mixed. I really like parts of it. There are parts that are really good. I think there are some pacing issues, and I honestly don't love the way how it ends, the way that it ends. I think the acting, some of it is incredible. I think Anne Hathaway does a phenomenal job. I think this is her best role ever. I think she was absolutely great. Tom Holland is smashes it out of the park. The guy who plays the blind hermit, I can't remember his name, but he also plays Sid the Sloth. He voices Sid the Sloth. Is phenomenal. Like the guy is so good. Um, I think Matt does a good enough job. I don't think he's particularly awesome, to be honest, with the exception of one scene that we can talk about later. So I am kind of mixed on this movie, but overall, I did enjoy it. That's kind of my general thoughts. What about you, Josh?
I am kind of mixed on this movie in a totally different way. I think Matt does a phenomenal job. I think he is the absolute standout of this movie.
Wow. Okay.
Uh, that scene at the end when he is playing the beggar, holy crap, does he do such a good freaking job? Um, I think it's pretty good. I don't think that this is a top Nolan film. I don't think that this is a super particularly amazing film. I don't think that this is like. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, Lord, you need to go see this in theaters. Because, like, you can wait. It's fine. Um,
I
there's
sorry, in theaters, it's like somebody said it was shot for like a bigger screen
Yeah.
than in theaters.
So he shot it in 70 millimeter IMAX, which means it is the old ratio from old square TVs. So because every screen now is widescreen, you're losing like that much, right? So if my hands were framing my face right now, that's what's being cut.
Did it take away, do you
No,
think?
I
Okay.
think
I
IMAX
don't
is
know.
the most overblown, ridiculous, stupid thing ever. Um,
I did watch it in IMAX, and it was freaking awesome. Viewing wise, it was awesome.
it was still awesome.
IMAX,
It's still like
IMAX
beautifully shot.
I know, but IMAX is like 80 feet tall, and watching this in 80-foot tall was sick.
I think this is the dumbest thing ever because guess what? We went to widescreen for a reason. He's just going back, and theaters and people could absolutely just, even if it's not IMAX, have the same screen ratio and just have black bars on the sides. But you know what? We
Could do
decided
that.
that that sucks as a society, so we didn't do it. And Nolan is just being like, I've always liked it ever since I was a kid. Well, guess what? You're not a kid anymore. It's been 50 years. Um,
The reason that I disagree with this is because the movie felt like something I haven't seen in a really, really long time. Like it, that's something I will give a huge props to. I think every frame, every single frame of this movie is actually gorgeous, and it
Agreed.
felt like something that was done like the Ten Commandments. It felt like it had that kind of gravitas to it, which I do really, really appreciate. And it was framed as a movie that's more artistic that way. And every shot, every color scheme, everything is beautiful.
I agree.
So whatever Nolan wanted to do there, I haven't seen that done in probably my lifetime. Something that looked like that,
Okay,
and I
is
appreciate
it
that a lot.
because of IMAX or is it because he took the time to do practical effects on pretty much everything?
So I
Um,
think you two are talking about two different things. We're talking about how he set up the frame to be square, not like the setting of things or like the look of what it looks like on a screen.
but I think the 70 millimeter partly contributes to the way that it looks on the screen.
Mm.
The That shooting technique, I think, makes it feel like it has that old gravitas to it that we
Mm.
really haven't seen in 30 years.
Yeah, because
Okay,
they've
so you're saying
moved
it adds to
away
the
from it.
effects.
And I'm saying it doesn't matter. I agree with everything Conlon says. Every shot is beautiful. I love the color scheming. If he wants to film it that way, that's totally fine. I just don't think I lost out on anything because I saw it in widescreen.
That's fair. I don't think he lost out on anything either. It's just really cool to watch something. Even if it wasn't filmed in that direction, I think watching something on that big of a screen is just a cool experience.
Okay, but then we're talking about the fact that you went to a movie theater,
Yeah, that's kind of fair.
you know? So I think that we should have all seen it the same way, you know? Whether or not I saw it with the actual 70 millimeter film that is sent to just like 8 places in the world or not, I don't care. I'm not a movie theater person to begin with. So just if you want me to see the full frame because that's the way you wanted me to see it, show me the full frame. Um, but yeah, just going back, I think Matt Damon is amazing. I think Anne Hathaway is amazing. I actually don't think it's her best role, but she is phenomenal in this. She's a great
What
Penelope.
what's better? Because I couldn't think of anything.
I think she does. She fits the quirkiness of Princess Diaries and Ella Enchanted.
Okay, okay,
Like,
that's fair. That's a different kind of.
it's a different Anne Hathaway for sure, but like, hats off to her. She does a great job. I'm not discounting it at all. Tom Holland was the standout of this movie for me. We saw a very different Tom Holland that we saw. I got in a debate on social media about Tom Holland because everybody kind of agrees he's the worst part, and I'm sitting there like,
Oh, that's crazy.
he
That's
was
crazy.
the one of the standouts. He is the best overall performer and has the second best highs of this movie. We saw a restrained, patient, not quirky weirdo. You know,
Yeah,
in Spider-Man,
he
he's
was
quirky.
phenomenal.
He's always joking around. You know, and in this one, he is an innocent little kid, and that's what he's supposed to be. I thought he did such a freaking good job. Charisse Theron does a really good job.
She's solid. She's always solid.
Robert Pattinson once again kills it as being a stalker weirdo.
So good.
Great job, Robert Pattinson. I guess.
Literally, he was
job.
the best stalker weirdo leader guy that I've seen since Gladiator. Like I thought he was that good.
Well, you saw Twilight,
Genuinely.
so he is experienced in being a stalker weirdo. Um, and then Elliot Page, I thought at the beginning of the movie was the worst part about the movie, and then we saw their monologue in the underworld and totally redeemed that performance. That is the best performance. That scene is fantastic.
All I've seen is on social media. Somebody showed when he was running and like had his arms out and did a side by side with like a toddler that was running.
Yeah.
I was like, that's mean but also funny.
Yeah. I didn't particularly notice that. I do think that that idea is funny. There's just a scene where
I didn't
Elliot
notice it
Page
either.
is supposed to be like telling the people of Troy that like this is a gift to Athena, please leave it alone. And they're just doing the worst like phone it in acting I think I'd ever seen. And I was like, this is shockingly bad. Right? The whole thing is like Matt Damon is in this horse and you're supposed to be telling, right, like Sinan's not supposed to know that he's in the horse, but like you're supposed to be like, this is a gift to the gods, and you're like, this is the gift to the gods. And she gets shot and it's or they get shot and it's like, okay, really, like this just like screams terrible. But then like there's this monologue they give in the underworld that I think is just like the best performance we see in this movie. My last kind of general thoughts are um, Zendaya does a good job, but Zendaya got paid $1 million more than Anne Hathaway in this movie.
That's insanity. That is insane.
Hey,
No,
Lauren,
that's
real quick
crazy.
question. How many lines do you think Zendaya had if she's paid $1 million more than the girl who's playing Penelope?
She's playing Athena, right?
Correct. Yep. How many lines? How much screen time do you think?
Well, if I'm going off of the musical Epic, she has a lot more than Penelope did, actually.
Okay.
So I have no idea.
Anne Hathaway has the second most screen time of any of the other actors, I believe. Zendaya has 0 lines of dialogue.
Zero.
She says
Really?
0 things. We don't
She
hear
shows up and
Zendaya's
looks
line
certain ways and like
ever.
holds his hand for a second. It's
Million
crazy.
more
It's
dollars.
crazy.
Million more dollars.
No lines of dialogue.
0.
It literally could have been anybody with the story.
Right?
Actually, I'll just go into it. But it's really cool. Basically, there's a part where they cut off the Athena's statue's head, and at the same time, a girl that looks like Zendaya gets her head chopped off. So Matt Dinneman, holy freak! I just did that. Ah, Matt Damon, son of a equates Athena to this girl that died. And so it happens to be Zendaya. It literally could have been any girl. They could have been like, hey, you're pretty on the street. Can you want to be Athena? And it would have been totally fine.
I disagree with that. One of my notes is I do think Zendaya is completely underutilized, but we do still see acting, right? She's not just standing there.
She just looks sad. And then one time she like holds his hand. And like,
And
that's
she's
about it.
absolute terror in the eyes when she's about to get decapitated for just being
I guess
from
there's
Troy.
that. That's true.
Like,
That's
it was
true.
such a good performance. People are talking about whether the person who was decapitated was actually Athena, or if Athena took the form of looking like that girl because of the overall theme of PTSD in this
Wasn't
movie.
she a priestess that got decapitated?
No, she's just a
She's just
person
a
who
girl that,
lives in Troy who happened to live there and got,
and
yeah.
What's the son's name that Tom Holland plays?
Temelicus.
Bellicus. He talks about you have wise eyes, you have Athena's eyes all the time because he constantly thinks everybody's Athena. So there's this general theme that Zeus's law is you treat everybody with hospitality because you never know when somebody's going to be a god. So literally, there could be people in this movie or in the book that are Athena showing up as different strangers, and you would never know. So like it could she could have been Athena who's getting her head chopped off. We don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my general thoughts. I think it's
Okay,
pretty good.
cool. What did you think about the opening of the movie? Because I actually really loved the opening. I love the idea that it starts with the son who's never seen his father. Like you get a lot of exposition without it feeling like an exposition dump. And then it goes to Matt, not Dinneman, who is on an island and doesn't remember anything and has to remember. Like I thought that was a great way to open the film.
I don't.
Okay.
Simply because that was the point where I had to accept that this wasn't Epic the Musical and this wasn't the
Okay.
Odyssey. That's not how either of them open up. So for me, I went in expecting the plot of the Odyssey. And instead I was like, oh, hold on, this is different. Okay, hold on, I have to wrap my head around this. So like I will have to go back and rewatch the Odyssey to give a rating on like the opening because when I watched it, I
Okay.
was like, this is not at all what I expected. And so I had to accept that during this opening.
Okay, that's fair. I really liked the way that they framed it. It let us introduce the main conflict of the story quite well, in my opinion. Um, and
I
then we go
liked
to this.
opening with the Siege of Troy. The
Okay.
way the Odyssey actually opens up, the way Epic opens up, where you're like, this is what's happened. So, like, the whole point of the Odyssey is that it's after the Iliad, you know?
Mhm.
So, in the Odyssey, the epic poem, or in Epic, right, we get just that first song of, like, this is what happened. Right?
Mhm.
We're dealing with this from this point on. So, if I had to choose a way to do it, I would choose that way.
Just opening up a Troy
Yeah.
instead. Okay, cool. And what did you think about the Troy opening part where they're actually in Troy and it's introducing that aspect of the story?
I think it is give and take, right? I think Elliot
Okay,
Page totally phones in that first performance, totally pulled me out
I
of
agree.
it. At the same time, you have the Battle of Troy when they burst through the wall, and you have Travis Scott in that awesome armor just farming aura. And
Wait, do you mean
It's
Benny Safdie
Travis
crazy.
Scott.
playing Aga?
Agamemnon,
It's
Yeah.
Travis Scott.
literally, Agamemnon is more badass than there's a scene. It's a little bit later on, but they are breaking into Troy and they're opening up the gates, and the gates open up, and Agamemnon is just standing there with all the men behind him, and that is the most badass shot that has happened since Rogue One when Vader opens up in the hallway. Like it is that Aura Farmy badass.
Yeah. So, yeah, pros and
Wait, who do
cons
you
there.
think plays him?
Travis Scott plays, he's the one in the armor who plays Agamemnon.
The
Agamemnon.
black armor.
Yep.
Yeah,
Why am I getting Benny Safdie?
He is also credited. I'm looking at it right now, but he is 100% not. It is 100% Travis Scott,
Oh, weird. Okay.
who is not credited for any particular role, even though he was 100%. So I don't know.
wait, no, Travis Scott plays the bard. I don't think he's the one in the armor. Travis
Yeah,
Scott plays the
Benny
bard.
Safdie plays King Agamemnon, while Travis Scott makes a cameo appearance as a bard delivering the opening lines.
Yeah, he's the opening lines, and then he's a little later on in the movie.
I've just seen like so many interviews with Benny that I was like, wait, what?
I was under the impression it was Travis Scott. He has 0 lines of dialogue. It doesn't really matter. He just stands there in the armor the whole time. That's all that's really happened.
Yeah, yeah, that's
But
why they're
he's
like
such a
aura
badass.
farming. Yeah.
Or if our
Yeah.
Yep.
Literally, when he talks to Matt later on, I'm like, I would not want to fight that dude. That dude is terrifying.
Yeah. There's a scene where they're trying to open the gates, which again is like a give and a take. It's like, this is really cool. There's the scene where Matt Damon drops the lantern and it lights up the darkness and you see the army. Great.
It's
So
so
cool.
good.
And then you have a scene where all of the Troy guys, which have super cool armor, by the way, stand there and go, what are they doing? I don't know what I should do. Hey, maybe shoot them with the arrows that you're just like standing there with. Maybe, kind of might be a good idea. They're trying to open the gate. Maybe stop them.
Maybe try something.
Maybe do something there. So like, yeah, pro con there. Some really cool scenes. Some really stupid character decisions. But like
I
overall
that part.
positive. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the best sieges of a place since like Helm's Deep. But I thought it was really good. I was very surprised with how much I like that. What did you think? Because kind of go to the next part is the Cyclops. Yeah, Cyclops. What did you think about the Cyclops
Hated
and
it.
that whole section? Okay, I was kind of disappointed by the Cyclops too. I think the fact that they created a animatronic that's like 40 feet tall is super cool. I think the stab in the eye is very cool, but I don't like that they cut out the entire wit of our main character with the whole who hurts us? Nobody, nobody, which is part of the book. I think that was quite good. I think cutting out the Cyclops' ability to speak was just a dumb choice. And something
He
I
didn't
don't
do
really love
that.
about the, I mean, he says Poseidon, but you can't tell what he's saying at all.
He 100% says Poseidon, and our characters go, "Can he talk?" And Matt Damon says, "Too late now." Like, I agree what you're saying in purpose of like
Mhm.
what they did was dumb. They should have absolutely kept that in there. Nolan's excuse was it was too cheesy, and I'm like, you cut out the reason for all of these things to be taking place. You cut out the arrogance of our main character.
Yep.
Like, you ruined so much, and because it was too cheesy. Like, even if people were like, "Oh, that was kind of dumb," you'd still have a plot that made a lot more sense moving forward. But
They could have
okay,
made it not cheesy though, but instead of it becoming arrogance and there's a lesson to be learned there, it feels like he's a petulant child when he just shoots the arrow. Like, I'm gonna shoot a little arrow at you now. I just I was very disappointed by that
yep,
part of the movie, honestly.
I agree.
Um, and then he calls Poseidon's name, and we're supposed to, I guess, follow that the oceans are getting worse because Poseidon is angry. But I personally wish we would have seen some instance of actual Poseidon versus it just being the weather. A lot of people seem to disagree with that. What do you think about that?
Uh, it's hard to choose. So to get
Okay.
into a little bit more detail with this, because this is one of my big objections to the movie,
Mhm.
is they try and take this like realistic, more down to earth take, like Nolan is kind of famous for doing, specifically with Batman. But you still have Athena, right? So in the Odyssey,
And you
the
still
epic
have
poem,
Calypso.
yeah, you don't ever see Poseidon in the original story.
I didn't
So
remember that.
he's not in it. Like they,
Okay.
we know that the seas are worse because of Poseidon, but he is never
Mm.
physically there. Um, so like, okay, that's totally fine. Um, but there's no like impact, like you said. There's no delivery for it. So like, I'm completely torn because you have Athena and you have Calypso, but you don't have Zeus and you don't have magic and you don't have things that would make it seem silly because it would be too ridiculous, like capturing the storm in a bag or all these other things. So like I'm like
I was okay with the bag being cut out.
I'm okay with it, but like my point is I felt like he didn't pick a lane.
It was
He
not
didn't
even.
pick a we're going with Greek mythology or we're going against Greek mythology because we're still debating was that even really Athena? And Calypso wasn't really a god, so like what is happening, you know? So that's my thing with it. It's like I wish he would have gone full like we're going Greek mythology or we're
Or
going
we're not.
against it, but we still had the Cyclops, so we still had Calypso, and Athena was still there ish, and that's what my objection is. It's like I wish he would
Okay.
have just picked to steer into the skids of either one of those things, but he chose neither.
With that, I think that's actually a good transition to the next part of the story with the witch, whose name I'm forgetting right now.
Cersei?
Cersei.
Cersei. What I love Cersei. I thought Cersei was very well done, even though it is very different. I know a lot of people. There's a controversy with Cersei of she's supposed to be this hot goddess who turns people into pigs because they're married and they hit on her regardless, kind of a thing. I think the idea that it's just general men being unable to control their appetites, and so she turns them into pigs, I was okay with. I actually quite enjoyed that entire section. I thought the horror of it was very well done. I thought the transformation into pigs, the fact that there's no CGI in that scene is insane. I don't know how he pulled that off. That's incredible. I liked it. What did you
He
think?
turned them into pigs. Just
It is a horrific scene. There is some CGI, but it is largely done with practical effects. Um, I don't know. So, in the Odyssey, the epic poem, he spends a year sleeping with her,
Yeah, and has a kid.
and they have a kid. And I'm okay that they cut that. I'm okay that she's
Me too.
kind of a witch. I think the scene where the men are being turned into pigs is great. I hate the message that it's like it's because they couldn't control their own appetites. When there's kind of this feeling that she cast a spell that, like, once they started eating, they couldn't stop. Right? They actively try and stop Odysseus from eating any of the food and eating any of the meat in particular. So it's kind of like she's punishing them for being what she made them to be.
Because there's a prejudice there. Actually, that's one of the things that I liked about it was there's an assumption that was made.
Yeah, but like the assumption is they couldn't control their appetite, so she's going to turn them into pigs. But she actually made them not control their appetite. So I'm not a big fan of that. I think there's 150 other things you could have done there and still had the cool scene. It's just that like there's this maybe magic there. Again, Nolan not really choosing magic or not magic kind of energy that I wasn't a big fan of.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And then after that, we go to the soldiers who are in the Odyssey, but I cannot remember their names, who are cannibals. I thought that scene was dumb. It looked really cool, but I was like, who? I didn't remember it from the Odyssey at all. I did not remember the. What are they? What do you remember what their names are?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The part where they go up in the trees and there's the giant metal soldiers that are chasing them and kill them and sink two ships.
Okay.
Okay, in the Odyssey, they are a group of cannibals, and there's a lot more to it. Like they go to the village, they lock in the doors, and then they start eating people, and they have to escape. It's a lot better. In this one, I was like, I don't remember these people at all. What is going on? They just went onto the shore, and I guess there's giant metal something on this. What is happening? And I found it very unsatisfying and very confusing, and didn't match the tone very well. What did you think?
I agree. I don't think it really fit in. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know what we were doing there. I don't know why they had originally just attacked right off the bat. However, I do think the sequence in the forest is really cool.
It's very cool.
So they're trying to flee these giant metal monsters. I don't know what they are. But Christopher Nolan had trees physically moving while panning single shot movements and trapping some of the soldiers and doing some really cool stuff there, Lauren. So it was just like that was a cool scene. It makes no sense. I don't know why it fits into this. I don't know why we cut so much and included this detail, but we did. We got yet another scene of the soldiers running to the boat for the fourth time.
They're called the Lestrygonians, is what they're called. But yeah, they just
But they don't explain it in the
basically
movie. They just show
they
up.
don't
and
explain it at all.
do it. Okay.
It's very confusing. I literally was like, are these like cyclopses? But they're not big enough, and
Yep.
what is going on?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, and then they ran off the beach. This movie has a lot of people just running off beaches. Like a lot.
I'm sure Lauren's seen the stuff on social media where it's like, here's the Odyssey, and it's just the scene of Jack running to the boat from Pirates of the Caribbean. It happens a lot in this movie.
A lot. Then we get what is probably the best part. I don't know. It's one of the best parts of the movie where they go to the Isle of the Dead. They go to Hades, and it is just freaking awesome. Like it's so well done. They one thing, the scene we were just talking about with the soldiers, I actually think it's kind of cool. They had visual doubles where it was all women, like stocky, manly looking women who ran down the hill. And then they got around 7 foot tall men that are really big to wear the metal suits. So they look ginormous on the screen. And they do camera angles to be able to make them even look bigger. I was just very impressed with how it looked and how they were able to put everything together with
Um,
that particular scene.
Matt Damon's stunt double is a 4 foot woman. I thought it was someone. He's like, her arms are huge. Yeah, it has a picture of her like doing that. And she's jacked. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, she's big. Anyway, we go to Hades, and it is absolutely amazing. I watched the back scenes for that one, and they're all like freezing. They're so cold, and they're going to Iceland, and he's like, I'll just kind of make you figure it out. It'll be good. We'll figure out something. So they bury all of them and have straws for them to breathe in, and they actually pop out of the ground. It's an awesome scene. Like, it is so good. It's so well deserved. The acting is phenomenal. I think Josh is largely going to agree with me because it's just awesome.
Yeah, I already said it. Elliot Page's monologue there is a standout. It is the standout scene of this. Everything building up to it feels epic. They didn't all pop out at the same time. It didn't feel like this. You slowly see these growing hordes of zombies slowly
It's
get
so
up.
sick.
You get Agamemnon showing up, and you get Odysseus realizing that he died, and he's like, "Holy crap, what happened?" Um, so, yeah.
Something I
Sorry.
didn't like about that, and I actually don't remember if this happens then or later, but they go into the Helen of Troy, and um, apparently Helen of Troy had a twin sister, which if this is the face that launched 1,000 ships, it's not, because there's two of these faces apparently, and I thought that was stupid. What did you think about that?
Didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, she's got a twin. The twin is the sister that killed Agamemnon.
I don't remember. I thought she killed Agamemnon.
No, she has a twin sister, which is stupid. I didn't like that at all. I thought it was a weird change. Why would you do that? Also, as far as controversies go, the only thing that I kind of agree with is Helen of Troy is supposed to be ridiculously attractive. The actress that they chose to play her, I didn't think was the case, and I think that they had better choices, including choosing what's her name that played Calypso would have been a better Helen of Troy than who they chose, in my opinion.
I don't agree with that, but okay.
Okay. Anyway, very cool part. After that, we go to the whirlpool and the lair of Scylla, along with the sirens. I thought the sirens part was fantastic. I love when they cut off the sound. It was very cool. And I love that you can see the island, but they just show outlines of the mermaids. And it kind of made me want to explore this region more, which gives me as the viewer what we're trying to capture with the sirens. I thought that was brilliant. I thought the sound design was great. And you can see bones just on the island that's barely outlined. It was really cool. It was really cool. What did you think about the siren scene?
I agree.
Cool.
I've not
Apparently, Nolan was like, I ask a lot of my actors. I know I ask a lot of my actors, but the one time I felt bad was this scene in particular because Matt has his ears unplugged and he's tied to the raft or to the
ship
what's it called
main
to the
post.
ship, the main post,
Mast.
and he just has to like hear the siren song and start screaming. But when they're doing IMAX development, they have to send the film all the way back to LA and then it comes back and it takes like 4 days. So they're just filming the scene over and over and over again so that they can get a version of it that will work. So Matt is just basically tied to the boat going for days. And Nolan's like, he lost his voice. He couldn't talk anymore. He had to get like therapy to help his throat heal so they could keep filming, and I felt really bad about it. I think that is crazy. It is crazy. The amount that they did for this movie is kind of phenomenal. Anyway, it goes to the lair of Scylla, and I did not like this scene. I feel like Odysseus is supposed to be a great leader, and I don't see that a lot in this film. That's part of the reason why I didn't like Matt, because I think part of it comes from. All right, I wasn't as thrilled with Matt as Josh is, because I think part of that isn't just the writing; it's the way that he acts the character. But he doesn't just tell them, "Hey, if we go this way, people will live." Like in Epic the musical, he makes the choice: we are going to go through the lair of Scylla, and 6 people are going to die. I am making that choice. I am the leader. In this, he tricks them into going through the lair of Scylla, knowing that 6 people will die. And I thought that was a pathetic Weasley, not good character growth, just not good example of the character, bad writing. What did you think, Josh?
I don't like the scene, but I just think it's another scene with just another monster that isn't explained or talked about or is
Okay.
very well represented. I disagree with you on that being the case because they already accelerated the timeline of his men losing faith in him. Right. So in Epic the Musical and in the Odyssey, he still has the respect of his men at this point in time. And in the movie, he has already lost it. So because of that change, if he just told them what, like I agree, he should have said, this is what I learned. You go this way, we all die. We go that way, 6 people die. That is your choice, right? He could have done that. But he still makes the call himself, but he had to change how it was done because how do you do it when they won't listen to you kind of mentality.
I think you'd still give those 2 options. I don't like these are the only ways to go. Do you all want to die, or do you want or 6 people die? It's up to you.
Right. But then he's
I
not making the
yeah, I
decision
didn't
himself, so
like it
you'd
at
still
all.
be mad at him for it.
It would feel like more of a leadership position than just tricking your men into the situation that you need them to go. I
Right.
just didn't
My
like it.
point is, it's a lose-lose situation.
Okay,
Right. I think you'd
it is a
still
lose
criticize it
situation.
because they already accelerated it. We're already at this point where he has lost control of his men, and you cut the bag of wind scene. So
Mhm.
where do you put in the rebellion? Okay, now we're gonna put it in here. How that fits in with, like, I agree it's dumb, but like I don't think that that's Matt Damon's fault. It's just like where they're at in
Yeah.
the story, what needed to happen. So that's what they did.
Okay. What did you think about the next scene with the Apollo's uh, land and the cows and all that?
I thought it was fine. Like it's good that they
Okay.
included it, but it wasn't particularly amazing or bad or whatever. They just go there.
What I didn't like about it is I felt like I don't really know what the lessons are that is supposed to be learned in this movie. And in Epic the Musical, it's like be ruthless. It's a lesson there. In the Odyssey, I think it's about like being humble and not defying the gods. But in this one, he doesn't really defy the gods. He doesn't really go for the gods. It's kind of like a nothing burger. So they get to the island, and there's these winds that won't let them get off the island. That is not in the Odyssey. I actually double checked this because I wanted to remember. Um, so basically, their only option is to stay on this island and starve, or eat the cows. So it's like you don't have any options in your own life. You are only destined to what the gods want you to be destined to be, and that's all you can be. And I just didn't like that messaging. Honestly, I think the sequence was well put together, but the messaging was lackluster and disappointing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I
Do
think it
do
is in
you,
Greek mythology that the gods are in control.
hmm.
And I do think that
So it
is a
works with
theme of this interpretation of the Odyssey that he is against the gods, right? He's called out for being loved by Athena and respecting Athena and carrying Athena's things. But like every time he talks, he's like, I don't care what the gods want. I'm going to do what I want.
but he regrets what he did because he broke Zeus's law by the Trojan horse. Like that's the entire thing. So he's already regretting that he was going against the gods at the very beginning of the movie.
Right. That's the theme. Is he's so the theme of the movie is PTSD. The theme of the movie is war bad.
Yeah.
That is the theme of the movie. So,
But the theme doesn't work if he already regrets rebelling against the gods before he learns the lesson to not rebel against the gods.
except
You're not learning anything because you already learned the lesson.
but he didn't learn the lesson, right? He's still against the gods when he goes there.
When he goes to the land?
Yeah, with the sun god.
No, because he's like, I don't want you guys to die. So don't eat the cows.
And the scene
then
before that, he was like, I don't care what the
pushed.
gods say. I'm going to try and save everyone.
Doesn't that make it so it's an inconsistent character arc? That's what it feels like to me. That's what this movie largely feels like to me. That's my biggest problem with it.
No, because he's this way through the entire movie. It's not inconsistent. It is consistent. It's just not Odysseus.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't feel like it was consistent, but okay. The scene where they escape from the island and then everybody drowns, I thought was particularly good. I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
The crashing of the boat was really good. I think Calypso, I don't like that they gave her a piece of shit island. Calypso is supposed to be cursed to never leave an island, but the island is supposed to be paradise. So she lives on paradise forever, but she can't leave. The island that they stuck her on was like Timbuktu. People in Africa would be like, that place is too shitty. We're not going to stay there. We're going to find somewhere better. And I just didn't love that. What did you think?
I have no opinion about that. Like, I don't think it's a bad
Okay.
choice that they made it a crappy island because she's supposed to be being punished. I don't like that she was given the lotus flower. I don't like that she used that. In Odyssey, the book, it is Paradise Island, and he stays there, and they nearly get married after 7 years, and he's fully conscious and aware of what he is doing. That's a way to go. In Epic the Musical, he is trapped there and is being loyal to his wife and actively pushing against her, but has no way to leave. That's a way to go. It is another, like, I don't know if we're going magic or not magic, so this is what we're doing. It's a plot. Woo!
Okay.
And that's my problem with it. Like, Charlize Theron does a really good job with her performance, but like, I think it's an underutilized character. One of my favorite parts in Epic the Musical is Calypso, and she's just like a part of why things are happening. And it's like, you could just like have gone the Epic way, you could have gone the Odyssey way, but you chose this weird middle ground that I'm not particularly happy with.
And then we get to a part that I feel like just isn't consistent because he regrets, in my opinion, he regrets what has been done in breaking Zeus's law and causing the people of the sea to spread and have Zeus's law getting broken everywhere, and he's broken everything and blah, 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 blah. But then his big arc is like, okay, just give yourself to the sea, give yourself to Poseidon, and Poseidon will take you back. And I honestly don't remember what the Odyssey book. Does he do the exact same thing, or how does he actually get home after Calypso in the book? I don't remember.
It is the same as Epic the Musical. Athena goes to bat.
Okay.
She convinces Zeus to allow it to happen. Zeus sends Hermes to send the message, you can now leave.
Okay. Yeah, I like that way better than I like, hey, just go float in the ocean for a while and Poseidon's totally got you, bro. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite thing.
I agree. That's just not an inconsistency thing with the portrayal of Odysseus. That is just Christopher Nolan's writing of like, is it realistic? Is it magic? We don't really know.
That's fair.
That's how I see it.
And then what did you think about the last section of the movie? Because a lot of people love it. I've listened to so many reviews where this is the best third act of a Christopher Nolan film and one of the best third acts of all time.
For me, I'm completely flip flop. There's good and bad
Okay.
too. So
Okay.
the good with the ending is what they changed with Telemachus's character. I like what they
Okay.
did with him being a hopeless kid still. I love that Odysseus decides that he has to pay for his wrongdoings in breaking Zeus's law. I love that he and Penelope decide to run away together and to pay homage to all the soldiers, that there's an actual cost there. I love the portrayal of Matt Damon in being a beggar and having this relationship with Telemachus and bonding with him. And Lauren, when you watch this, if you ever watch it, there is a dog, and it is just like the most hopeful, loving dog moment you could possibly ever have. And that part is great too.
It's phenomenal.
We skipped entirely over Ryan Hurst's character as the mentor. He does a fantastic job, but that's over
He
at
does
this
such a
point.
good job.
And we now get Odysseus pretending to be Sinon and going back, and he gives him the peg. Great. Here's where I thought it was left out. In both the book and in Epic the Musical, they turned the lights out. And Odysseus goes on his
It's
killing
so
spree
badass.
of the suitors.
Hmm?
And in this one, that doesn't happen. And we get Odysseus kind of losing a lot. And we get Robert Pattinson's worst performance ever. The shields! Go get the shields!
I
The
don't agree with
swords!
that. I actually
Go
thought that
get
was
the
quite good.
swords! He does it six
I thought it
times,
was
Conlon.
Whiny,
6 times.
whiny, sniveling. Well done, Robert.
No. Once, twice, maybe. He does it 6 times. We don't need
I was fine
6
with it.
scenes of him going, get the thing over there. So stupid. I wish that they would have been a little bit more honest to the original one, and that one hit the lights out. Give us Matt Damon as Batman, slowly taking out and killing all the suitors. Epic
I do wish they would
awesomeness.
have done that.
That would have been great.
I mean, if we were going by the book, he did it naked, so.
So yeah, that's where I'm completely torn. I thought that like Pattinson, like yes, he is that way. It's a good portrayal of the character, but we as an audience don't need to see that 6 times. Or maybe he's just in the background of one of these shots doing it. Why do we need a close up of Robert Pattinson saying the same line with a different weapon 6 times?
It's the skin of a killer.
Okay.
Need a close up.
But yeah, the build up to it is
Interesting.
fantastic. I love the scene
It's
where
so
the
good.
servant is cleaning Odysseus's feet, and she recognizes who he is, and he has to be like, "Hold on, no, hold up." I thought it was fine that they changed how he revealed that he was Odysseus in Epic the Musical, and in the play he reveals that he is Odysseus by having knowledge of their marital bed, and only he would have knowledge. In this one, he has the Athena pin, and it's like, somebody could have picked that up off his body, but okay. So
What are your thoughts on the stringing the bow and that
oh,
note?
so cool. Epic.
It was
awesome.
awesome.
Yep.
Hey, but doesn't it sound
Awesome.
like I'm just a man? The dun dun dun.
No, because you
Dun.
just
No.
boom. Yeah, it's just the
Oh,
it's just the
Yeah,
Well-
it doesn't sound like I'm just a man.
yeah.
No.
there's been a lot of controversy.
I don't
On the
think they
web.
reference it at all.
I've seen
I-
them
I
edit
lo-
it to put the music on top of it, but the music in the actual movie does not fit it. The scene
Oh,
is
okay.
just him
Not
going
at all.
boom. And it is
Oh, okay,
epic and
'cause-
it's powerful, but it should have been boom and the lights go.
Lights out.
But it wasn't that. It was, now we're going to watch Matt Damon shoot an arrow through the thing, even though he already proved he could string the bow. And everybody knows that he's going to start killing them soon. But he spends the time to shoot the thing still. Like, you're like, what do we do?
What?
I have to win my wife's hand fair and square.
So, yeah, Pros and cons again. There's good,
Okay.
there's bad. I thought the fight with Tom Holland was particularly weak because like his whole arc is like learn. He's good with a sword, but he's too fast, which I thought was a stupid freaking thing to say. Um, he's too fast and he's too precise with his sword, so he has to learn how to be patient. Being patient, good, but like if you're faster than them, like you're still.
You're
That's
still
not
gonna
a
win.
bad thing. um, and then he gets into this fight with this like crappy suitor who basically just is like stiff arming him the whole time, like stay over there, and he goes like. So there, I have a pet peeve with this movie, and it's we see them running to the boat way too many times, and we see somebody thrown over a table full of stuff way too many times because it also happens all the freaking time. I'm like, why? Why do we need to see somebody thrown over a table that has stuff on it 7 times in this movie? Just-
Can't have an empty table.
yeah, I guess. If you can't
I
just
guess
have them
so.
fight, we have to have them push them over there. It happens like 3 times in this scene, I think, where somebody's thrown over a table. I don't know. That wasn't my favorite fight. It served its purpose. It wasn't like bad, but like I wish we would have had the arc of him learning that patience and defeating this guy, and yeah, but we didn't, and that's fine. So yeah.
Okay. I'm mixed too, but I'm mixed in different ways than you are. I think the part where he plays the beggar and he meets Tom, and they have they get what's what's the word where they try to assassinate them and they jump them. They get ambushed. That's the word. And he takes them all down. Is so badass. I love that scene where he like grabs the sword, and shoves it through his neck. I'm like, let's freaking go. It was great. And then they're walking up the hill, and his son figures out who he is because this dog who belonged to him was waiting for his master before he died. And like he goes down and he pets his dog one last time before the dog goes to sleep. It was like, I'm not even a dog person, and I was like, oh damn, way to go, Nolan. You made me feel something. That was really, really, really good. Um, they did a good job of building up Robert's character to be a slime ball, terrible. And my favorite scene of the entire movie is the scene where the servant is washing the feet, realizes it's the master, and he has a conversation with his wife, but doesn't reveal who he is yet. I thought the scene right there is the part of the movie where Matt blew me away. The rest of the movie, I was kind of like, you did a solid enough job. He was fantastic in that scene. The scene with Anne Hathaway was great too. Like that is one of my favorite scenes in movie history. I loved that scene. The way they communicate, it feels like the love just never went away, and he is trying to love her, not sure who he is, dealing with regret, dealing with PTSD, but still trying to give her some kind of care and peace. And it was just beautiful. I thought it was beautiful. But then we get to the suitor fight scene, which everybody said was awesome, and maybe I got overhyped for it. And he strings the bow, and he swings it, and that's very cool. But then the actual fight happens. And he's winning, but he's getting stabbed. He gets stabbed like 15 times. And he's taking people down, and people start to realize, oh, this is the king. He's back. And they start getting on one knee. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? If you want to follow this guy, attack the other suitors. He's just fighting by himself and he's losing. You're all on your knees like a bunch of pansies. I want you all to die. I want you to die. This is stupid. And it actually like aggravated me. And then the Tom Holland fight also is not that good. They have a scene earlier where he's getting taught by Menti about how to fight and like slow down and allow them to stab at your belly, give them an opening, that way you can take advantage of it. And I figured that they would draw back to that earlier training, but they don't really do that. So it was very unsatisfying to me. I thought the suitors not attacking was stupid. I thought not turning off the lights was dumb. And then Josh liked the fact that they all go to the west, which does happen in the book, but it happens differently. In my thought, they have Telemachus um, take ownership and he becomes the king. But this is just a kid. The guy could barely fight off one soldier. The reason that apparently Odysseus needs to leave is because he gets banished by the families of the suitors that he killed. The suitors are just going to kill this kid. That's what it says in the movie. I am banished now. He literally says that.
He banishes himself.
But he talks about how Telemachus can't attack the suitors because he will be banished because the families will want him to be banished. Specifically.
Because there is no Odysseus. But, okay, so Odysseus, they make the point that Telemachus can't take the throne
Telemachus.
because if he kills everyone in his own home, he is breaking Zeus's law and will then be banished by the remaining families.
Yes.
Okay? But Odysseus coming back as the rightful king, killing them, right? I do think that this is a good choice, right? He does what needs to be done, but acknowledges that him being banished is what needs to also happen. He still has to pay retribution, and he banishes himself.
I actually like that better, and I didn't realize that. I still think that his son would just end up being assassinated. I think
I
you are
don't,
setting up your kid
because
to die.
you killed all the best suitors to fight back. You established
Yeah, but I think their
power
families would
lineage.
just kill him.
But what
I
would
think he would
stop
end up
them
dead.
from Odysseus coming back and killing them?
Odysseus is gone.
So, what do you rate this movie? We need to move on.
Anyway.
I'm going to fall asleep.
Sorry, that was really, really long. I rate this movie, I'm going to give it a 7. I think there's a lot of good in it, but there's also quite a few things I did not like. What about you, Josh?
I was also giving it a 7. I think it's worth watching.
Okay.
I will probably watch it again when it comes out, but it's definitely not something spectacular or amazing. I have only heard positive things about this movie. The only negative things I've heard are people who are stupid and are like, Helen of Troy can't be black. And people who are like, Elliot Page shouldn't be Achilles. And trans.
And LA Page is
And
not.
it's like, A, doesn't play Achilles. B, stop being a dick and appreciate the standout performance in this movie. But yeah, pick a lane, and it would have been better. That's my thought.
Pick a lane of being like either super
Steer
whimsical
into the Greek mythology or stay away from it entirely. Right? Like, if you wanted to go realistic, the Cyclops could have just been a guy with one eye, who traps them in the cave. But no, you still had the Cyclops. But yeah, just pick a lane.
All right, with that, let's go to our shared topic. And since Lauren has been sitting listening to us watch about a movie she has not seen for an hour, I'm going to have Lauren go first.
Okay, I actually enjoyed, our shared topic was Predator Badlands, and I actually enjoyed it. Do I think it was the best piece of cinema ever to ever happen? No. I probably would have, actually, I don't know if I enjoyed it the way I watched it, because the way I watched it, I did not hear anything that the Predator said the entire movie because I watched a version where the subtitles were not English.
That's
And-
really bad.
But it was very interesting because, like, I think it shows how good the movie was in portraying what happened. That I knew his story without
that is cool.
him like saying anything to her. Well, without me knowing what he said to her. I loved the. I thought it was funny that I didn't catch on that the little guy was the big monster's like kid, because but I did catch on that I was like, oh, maybe he just like smells the Badlands on him when the monster goes to kill him, but then it starts like sniffing him, and I'm like, oh wait, the one guy like spit on him, so maybe the little guy spit on this monster too, and they were friends. I didn't piece. I was halfway there. um, but I also think um, there was times that I got kind of annoyed with the android lady, because it just seemed like I there was like a fine line in between her being quirky and funny and like it just being kind of cringe to me, and it rode that line very finely. um and then like at the end where she would like kept calling him the I can't remember what his name is, like Dirk or something. It's not Dirk, but um and like she just kept repeating his name to him at the very end, and I was like, okay, we get it. And so like by the end of it, it felt like she was repeating things that didn't need to be repeated. um and I just felt like they were like, oh, she's in this scene so she has to say something. um but I enjoyed the him taking the things from the Badlands and like making his own tech from the Badlands to go fight back. Um, I really enjoyed that. Uh, the other android lady just needed to die. I think she didn't even need to be in it, actually. um, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. I'd probably give it a 7.
Yeah, cool.
Oh wait,
I don't-
wait. My actual thing is 10, and my other one for one. The other one is 1. I forgot my new rating system.
Yeah. I mostly agree with Lauren. I think the part where he takes from the Badlands and creates his own assassin tools is probably the coolest part of the movie. It's an enjoyable time. I had fun with it. I don't really have that much to say about it. It's a fun movie. Does this make you want to watch more Predator movies at all? Okay, cool.
I I have a feeling that this one steps away from other Predator movies, because like the thing
It's
that I liked about
very
this,
different.
yeah, the thing that I liked about this one was because I know their whole thing is like they have to like fight alone and they have to kill things to be like, I'm the best killer or whatever, and that steps away from that because he's a defective specimen or whatever. Um, and I liked that, so that's why I was like, oh, this is, yeah. So it doesn't. I don't feel the need to watch any other Predator movies.
That's a shame because they're better. But this was an enjoyable movie. I'm also giving it a 7. I feel like it is a 7. I'd watch it again. I'd not watch it again. Whatever. Um, yeah. What do you think, Josh?
I thought Lauren was gonna like this better, honestly. There's the whole dog-esque creature. I thought that that was gonna completely sell Lauren on this. The scene where the dog kills one of the androids and then waves its arms is the best part of this entire movie.
I agree.
It's just too bad that leading up to this, it was just like, I don't care. Oh, it's another monster. He kills it. Shocking. Never would have predicted that that would happen. Oh, look, it's another android developing human emotions. Gee, where have we seen that kind of plot before? Um, this movie was fine. I'm not unhappy that I watched it. Is it super epic amazing? No. Is it worth watching again? No. Would I rather watch this or Killer of Killers? Killer of Killers 10 out of 10 times, 11 out of 10 times,
Yeah.
20 out of 10 times. So, yeah, it was fine. It was adequate. If you like Predator and you want to watch Predator Badlands, go for it. If you think, man, is this just him killing a bunch of monsters in the Badlands and then fighting a bunch of androids and I don't really care? yeah, that's the plot. That's it. The end. I'm giving it a 6.5 just because like I will not watch this one again.
Okay, cool, fair enough. Hey, that's Brother Badlands, guys. It was a much shorter topic than our other topic. Really not a bad movie. Worth a watch. We appreciate you guys watching. Next week we will be watching Whiplash, and maybe I should just forget because it's kind of our thing. Hey, so like, subscribe, watch it with us. Did you see the Odyssey? What'd you think? Do you like it more than we did? Most people seem to. Hopefully, we'll see you next time. See you guys.